Too early. I think that's all right. All right, let's go ahead and hop in here. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for October 25th, 2019. Just the final 4 minutes here of the week for the market. Q's going to be up 0.77 and the SPY up 0.45. All week, the bias has been bullish. Okay, bullish all week, bullish bias. We've been putting in these kind of narrow bars. Nothing has really changed, caused us to lose the bullish bias, right? And today we kind of saw more continuation of that. So going into Monday, still going to be bullish. Expect the sell-offs to get bought here. Let's take a quick look at the hourly, see how that hourly uptrend is doing. Doing well, right? We got a little bit sloppy in here on this pullback, but the pivots held, ran up to new highs. So you can see the hourly uptrend remains, right? That is going to be our first indication if we need to leave the bullish bias behind. But so far, right, hourly uptrend continues, okay? All right, 3 calls from me today, and all of them worked. So, that's kind of what we've been seeing this week. I think being picky is good. The opportunities will come. All right, starting with the INTC. Okay, we had a base breakout right here. Now, I know it was up a lot already, but I like this shakeout here. All right, we played it over 55.60, looking for a break of 56 for a target 1. We got a target 1. We got some out there. We took another portion out here. And then the last piece we took at the end of the day here, actually before these new highs though, unfortunately. We took it as it was kind of rolling over in the final 30 minutes. But looks like it had another high in store. Okay, not a bad play there. And so just kind of stuck with the management. If we use the 65-minute or hourly bar by bar, right, kept you in all day, right? So I do really like that about the INTC. Thought this was managed pretty well. All right, we were basically in it from open to close, okay? That's what I like to do, okay? We discussed this week in group coaching how to identify the ones that are going to be all-day trends, right? And so INTC really fit that pretty well, so it was nice to be in that all day. We also played as lunch came up, market had been bullish. I was looking for some shorts. Maybe if the market came in, we'd get some follow through. Now, I did say all 3 plays worked, okay, but there is a but to these, okay, and we'll go over why. All right, now on the MXL, most of us did not get filled the full position. We were playing this breakdown right in here. You might say, well, it's really obvious. Of course, everyone's going to get in it, right? And unfortunately, that made this play not as nice as we would have liked. Again, this is the kind of thing I expect is going to close at the lows. I want to be in it until the end of the day. Okay, if you're using this 65-minute trail, you're in it until the end of the day. Nice gap down, and then gave us a nice 5-minute base to play lower. Breakdown right there. All right, so unfortunately, that made it a challenge to get filled because it was on an uptick, right? But if you got filled some, should have been a nice play. Would have been nicer if we got filled full, but nice little short there on the MXL. And then the other play was the TNET. Now the TNET, we did kill this for break even, but you can see here it is going to be closing near the lows. Kind of a similar setup here on the TNET, okay? Base, and then a breakdown there. And then as it was kind of running up, we trailed it, break even. Which was a little bit of deviation from plan. It is something that I thought I had a little bit of a challenge this week. There were just so many things setting up, so many things to go after, that I was a little bit feeling like a little bit overwhelmed with the number of ideas and the number of opportunities. So, next week just have to be a little bit sharper. But, the opportunities are there. The plays are there, right? We're getting into things. We're holding them till either they get to target, or if they're going to close at the end of the day without taking out the stop, then that's fine. Now, some things, you play, they're not going to work, right? But for the most part, the things that we're going after are giving us nice big moves. That's what we're looking for. Wide range bars on the intraday, right? Wide range bar on the intraday, wide range bar on the intraday, right? So I think it's the kind of thing that it would be great if we just we're able to get out the high and the low on any kind of setup, on any kind of play, right? But when you get something that's just going to trend all day, right, it gives you a lot more room for error. So maybe you don't get filled at the absolute low, maybe you trail it a little bit early, but there's still some nice profit to be had. I know some people might have got shaken out on the INTC right in there. I know it's a bummer, right? I had that happen to me yesterday with the AMAT, right? And so, you know, if you're sticking with the management and you know that the management works, right, then sometimes just have to be a little bit more disciplined in our approach. And then if adjustments need to be made to the management, then you can. I know the struggle is that you want to make as much as you can on every single play, right? But there isn't going to be a management out there that is perfect for every single play. That's going to get you the most on every single play, right? So what we want to do is try to be consistent, and then if we see that we need to be either giving it more room, or we need to be trailing earlier near the entry, or whatever kind of thing to help you leave less money on the table, right? You can always make that adjustment. Okay, the worst thing that you can do is when the play just shows you a little bit that it's not going to work, jump out. That one ends up working. The next time you take a play, you say, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to let it take out the stop if I needed to, and that one ends up being a full stop. Somehow, you've done kind of the worst thing that you could do in both scenarios by doing different things, right? So that's why it's important to be consistent with the management, right? So, like if you play the INTC with me, and we get this nice breakout, and we get a little bit of follow through, right? And you want to just take it all on the first move. You don't want to live through this pullback. Sure, I don't have a problem with that, right? If you don't want to live through this pullback, right, as much as possible, if something's going to trend in my favor, I do want to stick with it, right? I made a video on how to let your winners run without being too greedy, right? And so that management, that style was applied to this INTC. Okay, so check that out if you think that might be something you're interested in. If you're more of a scalper, if you just want the first move, you don't want to have to deal with any kind of counter moves, then yeah, you can do that. Typically my plays that I'm looking for the ones that I can hold till end of day will give me a nice big move, okay? All right, so those were the plays from today. I thought it was a pretty decent week, so hopefully you did well. If not, you want to make sure that you start to go back, look at the plays, whether it's the entries, the strategy, the management, something that maybe needs to be tweaked, okay? Because we should be doing pretty well after this week, and you don't want to kind of start trying to play catch up in the next couple weeks, because by the time that you're starting to really get the hang of things, then earnings season will be winding down, and especially into the holiday season, there's going to be a little bit less follow through, a little bit less opportunities, okay? So hopefully you are taking advantage, okay? All right, that's going to do it for today's market wrap. Hope everyone has a really nice weekend. Get lots of rest, because there will be lots of trading next week. All right, I'll talk to you on Monday.